Hi everyone, so we're back with another soap video. Today we are making Jasmine coconut soap. I had tried a test batch of this like a long time ago, and that's because there was a Dove soap. I think it is coconut. I can't remember what color it was, if it was pink or white, but like the fragrance of it was really nice. So I wanted to try to mix the fragrance. So the fragrance I have today is Jasmine, and it also contains coconut. So I'm using the coconut from Voyager and the Jasmine from Windy Point. The colors I picked today is like a purpley pinkish color, is uranium pink. I realized, is it uranium pink? Sorry, ultramarine pink. It does give a purple tint, and I did already disperse that because it has to be dispersed in water. I also dispersed my titanium dioxide, and I already have a pre-dispersed brown oxide. Brown oxide. And in here I have some jojoba beads. Now you realize they're not a lot. I am only testing this in this batch as well. Well, this is not a test batch, I'm actually making the soap, but I want to see how this turns out. I usually know how salt will go, how stuff like coconut husk will be, poppy seeds, stuff like that. I already have an idea, but I don't really have an idea of how the jojoba beads will be, if it will come out. Well, I know it's not going to be super exfoliating, but are you even going to feel it? So today I have my oil. So again, I'm using almond, castor, coconut, and olive oil, and I'm using shea butter. In the next set of soaps, I will be switching out the oils and the butter as well, because I still have quite a bit of cocoa butter, but I think going forward I want to just use cocoa butter along with another oil. But we'll see, because it gives me a harder bar, and that's what I like, a very hard bar of soap. So I'll go ahead and add my additives here. As usual, I will be adding my citric acid, my kaolin clay, and also my sodium lactate. Now I could have substituted out my kaolin clay for coconut milk powder, because I do have some, but I am actually going to be using coconut milk. Now typically what I try to do is to add my coconut milk in cubes, and then I just stir in my lye while the cubes melt. I'm trying it a different way today. Hopefully this works, and this is just to test if I will get scorching. And scorching is when the sodium hydroxide reacts with the fat in whatever you're using. So in this sense it will be the coconut milk, and then it causes it to have like a burn smell. I don't typically get it, but again, I want to just try different ways, like alternatives to making certain products, and that's just my learning process of me creating soaps for these videos. So I'll go ahead and blend this, then we'll add our lye, and then once that's mixed in, then I will add in my coconut milk and my fragrance. Now, because I'm not using a lot of water, that doesn't mean that I'm not using my full complement of lye as well. I am doing that. It's just that I'm using less water because I am substituting some of the water with the coconut milk just to explain in case you're wondering, like, did she use all the lye? Yes, I did use this in this recipe. I'm using 130.85 grams of lye, but I increased that to 135 because I am adding my citric acid in here as well. So I'll just rest these here so that we can work quickly. I'm not sure of the design I'm using yet, but we will see. So I'm going to add my coconut milk. I did not superfat this, and superfat just means that you will be, you know, you're adding extra fat into your recipe, so you tend to increase the fat amount percentage. So right now it is at 5%, which is typically what it is when you are making soap. I didn't do the super fat, and again, this is all to make sure that when I do this recipe again, everything works out. If I'm making a full coconut milk soap, I tend to super fat it up to 8%, and that's something you can read more of on Brambleberry website. I think it's still Soap Queen TV. I'm not sure. If I remember, I'm gonna put it into the chat, in the comment section. So the person who owns Brambleberry, Marie, she has a lot of information on that site, so if you need to know anything, that will help. So the Jasmine fragrance does accelerate trace. Well, it said it might accelerate trace. I just won't take the chance. I forgot that. I'm just going to blend this in. Just give it a couple pulses. Then I will put it in the other containers, as well as, I guess at this point, I can add in the jojoba beads. And then I will just mix these in, pour them out, and then I will pour the fragrance oil when I pour the color. Okay, so whatever is not stirred in, it will then be stirred in when I have to mix the colors. As I said, I don't want to go ahead and add too much or stir too much when we're kind of making sure everything works right now. Okay, so usually I try to add the white to this. I'll just add the white to this one here. I'll add also a little bit of white here and some over here. I don't want the colors to be too rich, if that's the word I'm looking for. I want them to be like pastel. I could have used another brown and another pink as well. We'll add that here. So you can see that the coconut milk is already thickening up the mixture. So from here, I'm just going to stir everything by hand. So when this usually happens, I already know I'm going to do it in the pot swirl because I'm not going to try to do any fancy design or anything. Because that will just take up more time. So I might have to give this a quick blitz because I noticed there's a couple lumps, and that does, as I mentioned before, that doesn't happen with all fragrances, but sometimes it does. And this is getting extremely hot. Even though it is at room temperature, it's now gotten very, very hot. Okay, let's see. So I'll pour everything in this one. I typically try to pour it in the biggest one. Okay, so I went to the side and I tapped it down because with that pour, this can contain so many air bubbles, and I don't want to have like holes in the soap. Who knows what it will look like when it's done, but yeah, let's try to prevent that as much as possible. This will be a really good consistency if I wanted to do piping. Like, it's not hard, it's just the right consistency, like buttercream. Okay, so this is our jasmine and coconut salt. So let's see how it looks tomorrow, just based on that pour that we just did. And yeah, otherwise than that, I love the fragrance. The jasmine really shines through, even though more coconut was added, but then you still get those creamy notes from the coconut itself. So let's see within 24 hours. So we have our jasmine and coconut salt. I thought it would have split down the middle. It didn't. Has slight cracking here and here, but it's okay. It's actually pretty hard. And then I thought the jasmine scent would have kind of like fade away a little, but it's still really strong in the salt. Also, this color I thought would have been more purple. I don't know, because it's oxidized here, that it looks more pink, but then inside might look more purple because that hasn't been exposed to the air yet. So let's see what happens. So you might be like, maybe I like the colors pink, brown, and white, and I do. Together they do look good. But I find like a lot of the scents that I do pick this with goes with the actual soap itself. Maybe I'll switch it up. So like this would be, say, like for instance, my cashmere cream, I use those colors. The cashmere and oatmeal, I use that color as well. And then for this one, I'm using the same colors. But usually is how the design is. So the cashmere cream has a different design. So does the cashmere and oatmeal, and then this one has a different design as well. So let's see how it looks on the inside. Ooh, that's nice. So I love how this color is like a matte color. So this is still gelling. This is going through gel phase. That's why it looks like that. So like I mentioned, what's going to happen now with this, because it's purple, it is going to eventually turn pink. Just because this on the top is pink, this is going to eventually turn pink. So I like how that is. And I like how it's not a usual design for me, even though it was a in the pot swirl, and this is because it was getting harder at the time, so maybe that's why. Ooh, so that's one of the reasons why I was trying to hit it down, is because of the little holes here. So those are ear pockets, but those can easily be fixed. To fix your ear pocket when you are doing your beveling, so for the last couple of soaps I made, I did not bevel them. I just want to try not beveling soaps. I know that does create more for me to put into my my Rebel soap collection, but for this I will bevel the soap. Then what you do is, with the little ends that you keep or that you have, you just have to put them into the indents in the soap, and that fixes the problem. If you have soap dough, you can surely do that too. So the inside, I like the abstract of the inside. That's pretty cool. And I can't wait till it turned fully pink so that I would know how the inside of it looks. Alright, and this is the last one. Yeah, I like this design. It's different. Okay, and there we have it. Our Jasmine and coconut soap. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye for now.